Bill Salmon is supposedly a newsman. He's now the D.C. managing editor of Fox News. But the fact is, it's difficult to take him seriously as a newsman. He's been proven to have manipulated news coverage on Fox to help Republicans. And now, he's even admitted to it, lying on air to spread mischief. Here he is speaking on a fancy cruise sponsored by Hillsdale College.
It is so nice to be back with my Hillsdale friends again. Although I have to say that when I arrived last week, the very first person I encountered was James Carville. My old friend James Carville made me wonder whether I had boarded the wrong boat.
Hillsdale is one of the premier conservative colleges in America, and their 2009 Mediterranean cruise from Venice to Athens to Istanbul gave Salmon a chance to open up to a friendly crowd and let a bit of the truth find its way out.
You know, speaking of mischief, last year, candidate Barack Obama stood on a sidewalk in Toledo, Ohio, and first let it slip to Joe the plumber that he wanted to, quote, spread the wealth around. At that time, I have to admit that I went on TV on Fox News and publicly engaged in what I guess was some rather mischievous speculation about whether Barack Obama really advocated socialism, a premise that privately I found rather far-fetched.
In the final days of the 2008 campaign, he was Fox News' Washington deputy managing editor, and he took to the airwaves to spread something he didn't even believe, the kind of move a real newsman wouldn't make.
The deputy managing editor of our D.C. bureau, Bill Salmon, joins us now.
But I do think that when you start talking about spread the wealth around, which is what Barack Obama said to Joe the plumber, the red flag went up. I mean, that's just code. And I knew that conservatives would say that's you know, that is exactly code for income redistribution, which is tantamount to socialism.
Bill Ayers was talking about being a Marxist, and I've read Barack Obama's books pretty carefully, and he, in his own words, talks about being drawn to Marxists. He talks about when he was living in New York City, he would go see Marxist speakers.
Barack Obama talks about these terms in his books, and he was drawn to Marxists, he was drawn to liberals, he was drawn to socialists by his own admission.
Now all this stuff's coming out about whether he's a socialist. I don't know why anyone is surprised by it, because if you read his own words and his sort of, you know, orientation coming up as a liberal through college and as a young man, it's not a huge shock.
And it wasn't just his mischief. He encouraged the staff to engage in it with him. As Media Matters broke the story just last month, Salmon was caught in a leaked email disseminating Obama's supposed ties to Marxists and socialists to Fox staffers, and Fox shows played along with the mischief. Internal show notes make it clear that at least one of the segments was based directly off of Salmon's email.
All right, Peter, meantime, Joe Biden calls links to Obama and Marxism ridiculous. But there's somebody that might agree with those statements. Barack Obama. He writes in his book, Dreams from My Father, that in college, he chose his friends carefully so as not to appear a sellout. Among his friends, Marxist professors. Among his activities, attending socialist conferences. Bill Salmon is Fox News, here. D.C. Deputy Managing Editor.
It goes without saying that this is not what real news outfits do, because Fox is not a real news outfit, and that becomes clearer every single day. Get the truth. MediaMatters.org.